Today I'm going to show you my comfrey bins, comfrey tea bins. I've made a new one this year. I'll show you that in a minute. And I got the one I had last year, which has already been in a video, but I'll show you that again. Showing you the compost coming out of one of my compost bins. What I tend to do is I store it in the derelict. We fill up the derelict ones, you know, the ones you get from your local council, and then eventually they get emptied out into this aluminium bin to finish off. So it mixes it all up again and, you know, regenerates it, and by the following year you've got some really good stuff like the stuff I'm going to show you. So I'm going to also show you me cutting down the comfrey. It's not actually on my plot, it's on my neighbour's plot, but I know he don't mind me doing it. But it's not much good for the comfrey juice at the moment because it's all flowered and what have you, so it's all a bit thick stemmed and old really. So I'm cutting it down to get some fresh growth, and then I'll collect the new growth and put into my comfrey tea bins, and that'll be for next year really, and store it in some bottles. In case people don't know what comfrey is, it's if you've got comfrey, you've got a job to get rid of it. It sends down really long tap roots, brings all the nutrients up from way down into the soil, up into the leaves, and then you harvest the leaves, and then when you compost that down into your bins, like your comfrey tea bins and that, all those nutrients come back out into the liquid, and then you can feed your plants with it, tart plants, anything really. And the ratio is about 10 to 1. So we tend to put ours into little Coke bottles. They're 500ml, so 500ml in one normal 5 litre watering can. Comfrey that's on my neighbour's plot, the one I'm cutting down, I'm not quite sure what that is, but mine, I've only got a small amount really, which is why I'm pinching his. My one is a Bocking, I think it's Bocking 14. You can't grow the plant from seeds, because if you like gets blown around by the wind, if it's seeded, then it can spread into everybody else's plot. But with the Bocking 14, it's sterile, so you don't get that problem. And the only way you can propagate that is from root cuttings. Just dig a piece up, divide it up, replant it in somewhere else, and then you can propagate. Right, so without further ado, let's get on with it. Just emptying my compost bin. Well, one of them. We got all these derelict-y things here as well. What I do is I empty the derelict ones into this aluminium bin, and it stays there for a couple of years. I sieves it out to the wheelbarrow. I'll just show you. There you go. This is a bit I've sieved out into the wheelbarrow, and then I puts it in the bag, into bags, and seals it up. Look at it, it's really good stuff. No smell to it. Well, this is the tidied up bin area. That's the new bin there that was over the rhubarb. There's not much in that one at the moment. If I just show you the compost we took out of the bins, as you can see, it's already pretty good. There's a lot of bits in it, but by the time you sieve it, it'll be okay. I put some of these carpets over the top, just to I'll show you. Just put the bit over the top just to keep the heat in a bit. Got a big bit there as well. I think I might cut a piece off to go on there. Another idea that we've come up with today is we've got this old dustbin, and all the bindweed that plate's getting at the moment and taking down, we're putting in this dustbin, and we're going to let it steep in water like that. Just fill it with water. We'll fill it with water. That'll kill the bindweed off, hopefully. And then what it's going to do then, we're going to transfer it into this bin to like compost down. That's horrible stuff, bindweed. Anyway, that's our bin area. I think how many bins we got now? We got what, 4 bins, not including the blue one there. So, and I got my comfrey bins over there, along with my water barrels. So this is a new comfrey bin I've made. My old one's over there. Still using that one, not put much in it at the moment. You have a look into the top of it. Take the brick off the lid. Move me stick out the way of it. And I'll show you what I've done. I got one of my shopping baskets with a couple of bricks in it. That's just to weight it down and make it easy to get them out like that. And then the comfrey is chopped up, put in the bin with a bit of water. Underneath there's like a grid. I don't know if some of you remember years ago, there used to be wormeries like this. I don't know if, I think they still make them actually. There's the tap. And this wasn't a wormery, but what I've effectively made is a wormery bin. Because you take the liquor out the bottom there, same as I'm doing with the comfrey juice. And like I said, there's a grid in there underneath all that, just to stop the leaves blocking up the tap. This is my other comfrey bin, similar sort of setup. Tap on the bottom. You take the lid off. Made this one a few years ago. Slightly different. I've got I did do a video of this last year with the whole thing. Got a bucket in the inside it, which has got a pond basket in the bottom as a strainer, and then a couple of bricks on top of the comfrey, and a bit of water like the other one. So that's that one. Stinks a bit, not too bad though. That's the advantage of doing it like this in closed containers. It doesn't smell so bad. If you're doing an open container, it really pongs. Cutting the comfrey from?
Alan's patch.
As you can see, that it's all a bit old and tired. Well, I hope you enjoyed a tour of our bins. Basically what we were doing, we were tidying up the area because it was a bit of a mess. I've shot a few little videos of things that are on the plot today. So there's like sunflowers, some other flowers, apples, and I thought I'd just incorporate them as an intro. So you've probably already seen that bit if I've done it. If I haven't, I'll try and do it next time. I'm probably going to say this on the, I probably said this on the video anyway, the compost that we actually took out of the Daleks and put into the aluminium bin is already pretty well rotten down, and I was quite surprised at that, really. So I think you can safely say that next year that's all going to be done. We've added an extra bin into our composting area. It's the one we used to force the rhubarb earlier in the year. I thought, well, it's just lying around most of the year apart from that, so I thought we'd use it as a compost bin. So we're going to do that. There's nothing much in that one at the moment. And then we're just going to rotate through them as they, you fill them up, and as they drop down, when it's filled up, you can move on to the next one, and when it drops down, you can move your way back to the first one and get some more in. It's Monday, the 3rd of July, 2017. It's about 21 degrees here at the moment. Absolutely lovely day, although, like a partial cloud, but I quite like it like that, really, although I do tend to get burnt when it's cloudy rather than it's sunny, if that makes sense. I think it's because you don't take the precautions and it catches you out. There's a bit of a nice breeze as well, so it's really quite pleasant. So there you are, you've seen our comfrey bins. We've been collecting the more comfrey today. I'll add that into the video. Chopping down all my neighbour's comfrey. He doesn't use it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And what will happen there is we'll get the new growth, which is the newer growth I want to put into the comfrey bins to make the tea. And then later on, when we've done that, they continue to grow and we get flowers on it, and that really attracts the bees. So that'd be quite interesting and good for the ecology. You actually get swarms of bees on them. Well, not swarms, but there's actually loads of them. So I think that's about it really from us. Plate's over there doing something. Oh, and she's weeding. She's weeding round the polytunnel, getting a load of bindweed out. We got it everywhere at the moment. I've even brought the sprayer up, although I haven't used it yet. I might whack that round before we go. So it's goodbye from us. See you again soon. Happy gardening. Bye bye.